Test, test, test. Test, test, test. All right. We're not gonna worry about the. We just gonna start right over from here. It's already on. Matter of fact, so you can hear yourself. Hold on. I'll turn this on.
Testing.
This works since we have nobody to monitor.
Will it give us feedback?
Test, 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 test. You talk.
Testing.
All right. Ding dong, ding dong. All right, all right. That's the type of night we had last night. Um, we had technical difficulties, but
Very few.
but yeah, but we're gonna rewind.
I'm Mrs. I'm Melinda Stewart, Mrs. Durite, if you didn't know, and thank you for joining us with Rhythm and Rise Live recap.
Yes, the aftermath. uh, um, go ahead. You want to talk some more? You doing that really good.
So we are just waking up, starting to move around. What time is it? Noon?
It is noon, almost exactly.
Did a little bit of cleaning. Everyone was very respectful of the property. It's not much to pick up and clean. I'm just so appreciative for all of the love and the support of everyone. And you were asking, how did I feel?
So I have some questions so we can be organized. Um, the first question I said was, or asked that y'all didn't hear, 12 hours in the books after this event. How are you feeling right now on this side of those 12 hours?
I feel very grateful and appreciative of our close friends, our family, everyone, even our girls that's not even in the city that helped. Just so appreciative of everybody, the artists taking the time out to come and be here with us, our family and friends, our sponsors. I feel just grateful and thankful.
Okay.
How do you
No,
feel, Mr.
no.
Durant?
It feels funny when you call me Mr. Durant. But how I feel about it, um, I feel the same. I'm totally appreciative of the artists that perform, the people that came to support them, and how much enjoyment they were getting out of it. The people that helped and volunteered. I mean, everybody seemed to be having fun. It didn't feel like, well, I'm gonna say this. It didn't feel like work to everybody else because they was having a good time and stuff. I can't sit up here and say it didn't feel like work because it felt like I did a week's work of construction work in 12 hours. That's
You, I wish everyone could see the amazing things that Kevin did, like by himself. All of the technical stuff, the lighting, the audio. Our friends was here to help with that department, but putting everything together is so professional, so professional. The staging, everything. He would go to bed at 4 a.m. and wake up at 7 a.m. Just put a lot of time into it, and it just paid off. Everything ran so good, so smoothly, and you did all that by yourself. I'm so impressed.
thanks. We definitely want to do this next year, and I don't want to do that much work again. I ain't gonna lie. She right. She yeah the lighting, the sound, the stage. I built the stage. Uh,
Built the stage.
the backyard. Um, I I don't even think I took a picture of the backyard before the event. It doesn't. It ain't trashed enough now, but I need to take a picture. Well, it's too late because the tables and chairs is already getting out of here. It's a lot. It was a lot of moving parts, but put all of that together, trying to make sure everybody had a good experience. I did get to actually walk outside a couple of times and seen people hanging out, you know, just it was a vibe out there. And I was like, wow. And it was cool, but it also sucked. It was cool because I enjoy seeing everybody chilling, having a good time and stuff. It sucked because I didn't get to sit out there and chill and nothing. That's the thing about parties. When you host a party, even though let's say it's your birthday party, you don't even get a chance to enjoy your birthday party because you're so busy hosting that you don't get to enjoy all the work that you put into it. I guess the enjoyment is to see everybody else enjoying themselves.
And and me personally, I work hard and I play harder. So even though I was working last night
Yeah.
and was here, there, busy little bee, I had so much fun. I was dancing. I was so turned up. I was talking and I was busy and I was getting things done and taken care of and was still having so much fun. So I would say that I can host and still have take pleasure in what's going on around me, and I really thrive. And I wouldn't say it was chaotic. Everything was smooth because of our wonderful volunteers, phenomenal volunteers who are close friends and family. So everything just transitioned and ran very smooth. Everyone did their part, everyone did their jobs, and everyone did it well. So even though I was busy and I was everywhere, I was in it. I was in it in all aspects.
So one of the main reasons, because we woke up and we was sitting in the bed and we was talking about our experiences, and I really realized that even though we are both part of this event and it's in our house and we in the same
Our
place at
home.
our home and we in the same place at the same time, we had two different experiences at the same moment in time. Cause she's saying this, and I'm like, oh, you had time to have fun. You know what I'm
From
saying?
beginning to end.
Yeah, and me, if you'd have saw me around here, I didn't have time to have fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let me clean up that statement. I had fun because I enjoyed the stress, but I didn't have fun getting to dance and socialize. There was so many people here that I didn't get a chance to really stop and talk to anybody. It was just, oh hey, glad to see you, glad you can make it, appreciate you coming and things like that. And sorry, I gotta go. And it was just on to the next fire, next
Yeah,
fire, next fire.
that's a good way to word it. Like I was saying, like I thrive off of chaos, but wasn't chaos. But like I thrive off of stressful situations,
Yeah, yeah.
but I wasn't stressed. I did not feel stressed, but I thrive off of being busy and having to do multiple things at one time. Like that's my element.
Yeah. Yeah. I say the same thing, and the more you do it, the better you get. Now she's leaving out a lot of crucial parts. Like she's a director of a daycare with infants and 2 year olds and 3 year olds and stuff. So her and this chaos thing, that's what she go to as on a daily basis, right?
Controlled chaos.
So yeah, I get it. The difference between this and the daycare is that she could drink, dance, and have fun and chat with people. Yeah, that's the difference. She could drive a car. So I seen you dancing over there, and I was like,
Did you
well, at
see
least
me jumping?
I saw you doing everything. I seen you go down to the floor. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
well, I'm glad you are having a good time because really and truthfully, because we gonna be 100% honest with you. We didn't make money off of
Always.
this. There's some misconception that we was making money. We didn't make a dime off of this
We poured we
into
poured
everybody
into it.
else, and to see people enjoy themselves, that is the reward really.
Yes.
You know, that's the reason why we did it. We saw that there was a gap in the 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 black culture scene in Austin, and we didn't want to sit up here and wait for somebody to do something about it. We just wanted to be that solution that people needed, and we were told that a lot of times last night. We talked about that. I didn't. It didn't really dawn on me. Now I was busy, and people was, saying stuff to me and everything, but I didn't realize how many people approached me last night and just were gushing. Thank you so much for doing this, and I was like, man, this ain't nothing, sorry, I got to go put out this fire. But I didn't realize how many people told me that. If I had somebody walking behind me with a camera all night, and we would looked at the footage, like, wow, they said, wow, and I know it was humbling, for real. It was humbling, and as I think about it now, it's humbling because that's not. Yeah, I did it, but that's not why I did it to get the accolades. I just did it, but everybody was so appreciative that it. I don't know. I kept telling everybody, come get your flowers. Let me pour into you, but not realizing that everybody was pointing to me.
Yes. And
Yeah,
I think
us.
that's what makes it so beautiful is because you are humble and you are modest about how super smart you are,
I'm all right.
and he's more than all right.
I'm all right.
And so like competent, able to do things and put things together, it just you're so like deserving of that, Kevin, really. And I can appreciate that you are the change that you want to see. So there's people who look and observe, and there's people who do. And the stewards are definitely doers. We want to be the catalyst of the change that we want to see. And people were like, even my nephew said, how much do I have to pay to be a part of it? And I was like, no, 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 no. It's not, that's not what we're doing here. And it should not be that way. It's not that way for other artists who do country music and rock in the Austin scene. But for the hip hop artists, you have to give money to be able to be seen and heard. So it should be the opposite way. You're blessing us with your time, your talents. So many people's music was moving us to tears and just making you feel something, feel emotional. Like this is people's feelings that they're putting on paper and being completely vulnerable. One of the songs that I loved was about being sweet and nice, but don't play with me. Ife Divine. I was like, oh, I feel that. Mm.
Oh shoot, uh, I I feel bad, but I am going to go back and watch the broadcast because it was 12 hours, but it was all a blur, and the artists were performing, and I was able to hear bits and pieces, but I couldn't sit back and listen to it to enjoy it. I had to sit back and listen to cues of, oh, this is how much time we got because she's on this song, and okay, this song is almost over. Who's the next artist? And it was so, I was so engulfed in the behind the scenes that I couldn't sit back and enjoy those performances. I could tell the performances was good because I could hear it. I could hear it in the equipment. I could hear it on the stream. I couldn't listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this is what I love about your concept of live streaming. It's never going to go away.
Yes, it's
So
never going to
you
go
can
away.
listen to it tomorrow, today, or in 5 years.
Yes, it'll be still up there in
That
five
is the
years.
beautiful thing about this platform that Kevin has created for local R&B and hip hop artists, because not only is it live streaming and you can watch it here, you can watch it all over the world.
Yes,
So we're trying to reach
yes,
people not just
locally.
local,
Yeah.
not just in Texas,
Yes.
globally.
Yes.
And even though we weren't able to just focus in, we can watch a couple of hours today, a couple of hours tomorrow,
Right.
finish it off the next day.
Yes.
So I would encourage everyone that's tuning in right now, don't feel overwhelmed with the concept and idea of, oh my goodness, 12 hours. I don't
Yes.
have 12 hours. Just have it playing in the background. You will be so happy that you did because these artists are phenomenal, incredible. And I really appreciate you thinking outside the box and thinking bigger to say, oh, we're not going to just have this event, but we are going to do a live streaming.
And be on the lookout in the future because I will go in and edit to where we'll have a video for each performance and you'll be able to watch that. And I might even break it down even further per song because I think it's important that they get out there and not everybody is a long form content um, connoisseur. And I'm not gonna lie, I pulled up the event on YouTube because we did have a hiccup. We're gonna talk about that, and it said 8 hours. And that's intimidating. You sit up here and you see a video and it says 8 hours.
Right.
That ain't something you just want to go click on, cause you 8 hours is a commitment.
Right.
You know, people don't even want to go to the movies and sit there for 2.5 hours. So 8 hours, when I'm supposed to sit in front of my TV for 8 hours. So I get it. Even with the Jerry Lewis telethon, nobody sat there and watched that thing from beginning to end. And yeah, I want to tell the story. Can I tell the story?
Absolutely.
So this all started with a conversation with several different people, and I came up with the idea. I said, when I was a kid, I enjoyed watching the Jerry Lewis telethons. Like I said, you didn't watch the whole thing, but you got to see some artists and stuff that you really liked and they performed and everything, and you would tune in for that, and then they'll show the people on the telephones and everything. And I just thought that was cool, and it was live. It was what? It was 24 hours. So right there, that was a challenge.
You're telling our age.
Yeah, I don't care. I know, hell, they can see I'm old. But yeah, we telling our age. But as a kid, I was so impressed because all of this happening in real time with all these people and stuff, and I thought it was cool. And I said, I see people streaming for days playing video games, and that's simple. It's just you, the game, the camera, the chat, and I get it. But I wanted to do that, but I wanted to crank it up a level. And so when I submitted for the Elevate grant with the city of Austin, I proposed doing a 24-hour live stream. We was gonna have talent shows, up and coming artists, R&B showcase. Oh, yeah, talent show with kids and a talent show with adults. We fought back and forth about that. And like, well, what's the
Age of a kid.
yeah, what's the age of a kid and an adult? And I said, well, we'll just have to make a age and everything because I didn't want 2 year olds competing against 21 year olds. I thought that was silly, but um, yeah, and we was gonna do a hip hop showcase, and each one of those was gonna be several hours. We was gonna end the thing off with on Sunday morning with like a choir and stuff like that, and it was all gonna take place on Juneteenth. Um, After we didn't get the grant, um, and I watched them deliberate over the grant, and they all had good things to say, but I fell short on several things, But this time, no, this time it's going to be different because we decided to go ahead and put the show on anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
this was happening no matter what.
yeah, I'm
I
bad
was
about that.
like, babe, this is happening.
And now we have all the things that we didn't have for that last grant. We have it now. And by the time we submit for that grant for next year, we'll have the view account, and that's to me that's what's going to be the biggest um, draw in I think for us to be able to get the grant and do this again. Uh, Now, I think I'm going to be a little bit more realistic. I don't think we'll do the 24-hour yet. Maybe we will. I don't know. But we're going to start planning next year's now and what we're going to do. And one of the things definitely want to do is talk about the pros and cons, what we learned and everything, so we can plan better for next year. So, with that being said, let me ask this question. What was the biggest win of the night for you? And I'll tell you mine. The thing that worked better than we expected.
Hmm. I think the biggest win is that 34 out of 36 to me is a
33.
33 out of 36 is a win. Well, 34. She
And she came,
she
but she
came,
didn't
yeah.
perform. So
So that within itself was a huge win. I would expect for things to come up, emergencies come up. If you invite 30 people, 20 are going to show up. But everyone, with the exception of very, few, were here. So that was a win. One of the things you said, can you ask the second part of the question?
oh, what was the thing that worked better than you expected?
Um, One of the things that worked better than my expectations of everything going smoothly and working smoothly was high. I wasn't expecting for anything to just go terribly wrong, but something that worked better than expected was transitioning from stage 1 to stage 2. I felt like we were kind of like running around, but it was smooth. It was smooth.
Oh, that is funny because right now we in stage two,
We're in
right?
stage 2.
And she says that transition worked better.
Better than expected.
We have a totally different outlook on that because uh, for me, since I was the sole host of the show, it did not feel that smooth because I had to run from stage one over here to stage two, and that was tough. But I will give you this: I'm glad we had two stages because that it made things flow a lot better. So while one person was performing, the second artist was on the other stage. They were positioning. We can get the cameras positioned and everything, you know, have them with the microphone and stuff. And then it was just bam, bam. And that was the most important thing for me to happen because it's one thing when you go to a concert or go to a bar and they doing live performances. The artists get up there and perform. They get off the stage, and now everybody's sitting around waiting for the next artist to come on. That's fine because you're sitting around the bar, eating and drinking and talking and stuff. This, since it's going to be a live stream, it needs to be continuous. So I felt it was very important to always keep the flow going because even though you imagine if you was at a concert in an arena or something, you got 36 artists that's going to perform. How long would that doggone concert be? Because you know they got a band, and so every band has to break down and put the other stuff up there. They got a mic check and get everything, get the sound together and everything, and that takes a lot of time in between. So what we did in 12 hours would take over 24 hours if you did it. So I felt it was important to be able to cycle through everybody. So I was willing to make the sacrifice. Now, the plan was to have a host and a co-host. That way, both of us could have been in two different places,
Stations.
and it could have been a way smoother switch. And then, while the co-host was introducing and talking, I would have more downtime to check things in the background and make sure everything was running smoothly. Some things weren't caught. We had some problems. Let me. No, no, no. I know the question is coming up, so I'm gonna wait. Yeah, it's coming up. Um, what went down that worked better than expected.
And one other thing I would like to point out, we live in a residential neighborhood. The artists and their guests were so respectful of our home, so respectful of our neighbors. If you were to go outside and walk around, you would not know there was an entire 12-hour live streaming event going on in our home.
Yes.
And the backyard was full of guests,
Yeah.
full of people. The noise was to a minimum.
Yes.
You could not hear any the music outside. So I would say
Yep.
that went better than expected because I was expecting it to be noisy. But we're great neighbors, so I didn't expect for our neighbors to complain because we're good neighbors.
I
But I was really impressed with that.
I was never worried about a noise issue, right? The reason why I wasn't worried about a noise issue, we've had birthday parties here, and we had the music louder than we had it last night. And
We turn up.
I made sure I play the music. I'll go outside, and I could not hear a peep of it outside the house. So if our house is holding the sound in that good, then that the little sound that we did coming out the house would have to travel through the air, travel through their walls into their house. It's like it's not possible.
But even the backyard, there was what 40, 50 people in the backyard,
Yeah.
but I mean everything was just so
But it's the same thing with the noise. These houses are made so well for sound that even the people in the backyard wasn't making that much noise. But then again, towards the end of the broadcast, and I was able to go out there. I think it was a little bit after midnight. The people that was out there wasn't even really loud. Nobody was
that's what I'm
yelling and
saying.
screaming and cussing.
Everyone's so respectful.
Yes, it was really nice, and it goes to show that what they were saying was sincere. They appreciated that, and they acted accordingly with that appreciation.
And society like to stereotype
Yes.
against
Especially hip-hop.
artists that they're all rah 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 and loud 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 and
No.
bam bam bam. It's
No.
not like that.
No, I
and,
heard
and
no
that's
arguments.
not fair.
I heard no screaming, nobody getting in people's faces. You bumped into
All
somebody.
love.
Oh, excuse me. It was the. You could swear it was in the '60s with one of those flower power type of
Right up my alley.
the hippies and everything. You swear this house was full of hippies, hip hop and R&B artists. Nobody was mad.
The
Nobody was.
love.
It was just they had their food, they had their drinks, they was chilling. Somebody make a mess, they would wipe it. I seen people, even the Friday night when they came in for sound checks, they had people rinsing out their dishes and everything. And my baby was like, "You ain't gotta do that." She's like, "You sure? I don't have no." I was like, "That's what people don't see." We get caught up on social media with all this negative stuff, and we hear all this rah rah and all black people, all white people. But what we don't really want to admit is that in our everyday lives, we don't see all of the crap that we see on social media. Yeah, you might run into a racist person or angry person that wants to fight. You might have somebody that's road raging once or twice in a 5 or 10 year, stint. But we do not see this on a regular, everyday basis. And if you look at it like this, you know I'm not lying to you. When you go to the movies, almost every action movie has a car chase and a shootout, right? How many times in your life have you seen car chases or shootouts? I think in my entire life, I seen 3 car chases, and it was like, and that was it.
And only one time in my life did I experience a shootout in Killeen, and I thought it was fireworks. And people were like, "What's wrong with you? Get in the house." And I was like, "Who's popping fireworks?"
Yeah.
Because my ears are not trained to it. I did not recognize it.
Well, if you don't do that, you don't know. But the whole point is, and we're not making light of those situations, but what we're saying is in our regular everyday lives, we do not experience those things, even though we go to the movies and we exposed to it over and over and over again. Same thing with social media. All the negative stuff in the world, we expose to it on a regular basis, but we don't really experience that ourselves. But we apply those things that we see on social media in our personal lives, and that to me causes a lot of the problem. Well, not stereotypes, the problems that we have. So with what we talking about with the hip hop scene, you know, you see a movie or you'll see some video and they'll show the kids outside at the end of the night and they fighting in the street. It's like, yeah, but if you look at the context, what's gonna happen when you done had like 12 drinks? It ain't hip hop that's making them fight. It's them 12 drinks that's got them fighting.
And we were having drinks and we had peace, love, and harmony.
Yes. Yeah. So eh, I think it's wrong that these artists get these labels put on them, like to insure this event. You can insure any event, but if it's and it's funny, if it's hip hop or rock, you have to get special insurance because they feel it's a liability. That's how
Wow.
bad the stereotype is. Now, don't get me wrong. There's always gonna be rowdy people. There's rowdy people in everything you do. I guarantee you went to church today. Somebody in that church is a rowdy person, right?
The person sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
And if there's nobody next to you that's a rowdy person, that means you the rowdy person, right? There's somebody in everything that's rowdy. But why is it that with hip hop, the rowdy people are the ones that's emphasized and puts a stigma on everybody else, just like everything else? You can put that on anything. There's millions of police officers, but we got problems with the bad ones. Now, we know the percentage of bad ones is way less than the percentage of the ones that's actually trying to do their job. But all the police get that. Just like all the hip hop artists get that. And I think it's wrong.
Yeah, that's not fair.
I think it's wrong, and we need to really step back and say, okay, does this really make sense? And if you can't come up with a reason for it to make sense, then it doesn't, and just let it go, and just enjoy life. We ain't even here that long. Just enjoy life. Okay, then we're gonna move to the next.
Answer the second part of that question.
Oh, what went really well?
Yeah. And
That was better than expected.
Did you answer the first one?
The biggest winner tonight? Oh no, I didn't answer either one.
All right.
So, you want to ask the
Kevin,
question? Yes.
what would you say was the biggest win of the night, and then what went better than you expected?
The biggest win of the night, that we made it all the way through the stream. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll look at the camera with this one. I didn't think we was gonna make it to 12 hours. I did not think we was gonna make it at all. I thought we was gonna lose the what you call that thing, the transformer outside in front of the house.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Like, what do you mean you didn't think we were going to make it to 12 hours?
It's just so many, like the cops was going to show up and shut us down. But that's how I am with life. That I hope for the best and plan for the worst. I got this house built and everything, and I said to myself, I'm going to end up dropping dead before I even move in to get to enjoy this house. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. It's like, to me, it's always something in life that's always trying to stop you from achieving your goals. So
okay, we're going to work on that.
Well, because I'm planning for the worst. Because that's why I made sure to have extra insurance. That way, if something did happen to me, at least my family can get to enjoy this house. It's not about me. You know what I'm saying? This broadcast, yes, I'm planning for the worst. I'm planning for the worst thing possible to happen. But when it doesn't happen, now I can sit back and be happy that we accomplished the goal that we set out to do. So it's nothing to work on. It's just a protection mechanism that I have placed in myself. Every time we used to go out to sea, I'm like, man, this might be the last time I ever see, land again, see the family again, you know. So that just pushed me to do my job harder because it wasn't just me not coming back home. It was everybody on the boat. So let me hunker down, do my job the best I can do it, so I can get everybody else home. Because these guys got babies and mamas at home and everything, and they need them. And I just took that to heart, and that's why I do that.
Okay, what went better than
Expected.
expected?
What went better than expected? What went better than expected? Okay, okay. What went better than expected is the volunteers. Uh, the look, I'm be 100% transparent, 100% real with you. Yes, we had volunteers,
They were phenomenal.
and and you might can relate to this. If it's your baby, this you gonna treat that baby like it's everything, and nobody else is going to treat it the same way. Right? We see this a lot. You know, people say, "Oh, I want to help," and then you say, "Okay, cool," and they come helping. They lounging, they chilling out. You busting your ass and stuff, and you're like, "Well, damn, what happened?" Because they don't have the buy-in. They don't feel like it's theirs. They just there to help out, and it's whatever. But and that's what I expected, because if I don't put my expectations too high, then I can't be disappointed. And I didn't worry about it. However, comma, that is not what happened last night at all. These the ladies, oh my God, the ladies just came in clutch. Man, they were throwing Hail Mary passes, and they was moving the ball down the field, scoring touchdowns.
Phenomenal.
I'm running back and forth like a chicken with my head cut off. And they'll stop me. They say, "Hey, do you know this? Oh, that's what I was about to come and ask you about." Good. Or before I can think
They were
about it,
ahead,
they were
two
coming to me
steps
and like,
ahead.
"Hey, you got 3 minutes left. I'll be back in 1 minute." And I'm like, and the first 2 hours, it was such a blur because my head was all over the place because I'm thinking about everything. By that third hour, I was able to finally sit down and I can get my thoughts together. I can start getting prepped for the next artist. Um, Everybody was on their stuff. My guys in the control room, they had control of everything. If they didn't know something, they just say, "Hey, what about this? Oh, this. All right, I got it. I
Our
see."
two Bryces
Yeah, on
with
the
the
cameras,
cameras.
and the ladies. My God,
The ladies
the
were
my God.
phenomenal.
Hey, this artist is checked in. We good to go. This person's not here yet, so we thinking we're gonna move this person over here. You don't understand how much of a load they took off my shoulders that I didn't have to think about, and it allowed me to relax my shoulders a little bit, and just I was sweating. I
Shout
was sweating like Carl Lewis running a marathon. And when they kicked in, because they didn't know what to expect, and so they start getting in the groove. I start sweating less. I don't know if you noticed that. To the point to where I would come off that stage and they say, "Hey, drink this water." Yes, ma'am. I did, I did not expect that at all. And my
sure
God,
you're hydrated.
thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here.
Shout
That
out.
went so great.
Yes, shout out to Danielle from Lake Charles,
Hmm.
Louisiana.
Yes.
Shout out to
Yes.
Kat from San Antonio.
Yes.
Shamitra by way of Elgin.
Yes.
Brandy.
Yes. Oh, Brandy,
Austin.
baby, Brandy. I can't forget you. I can't forget you, sister-in-law. See, so I couldn't stream to Instagram, and so we decided to make Instagram the behind the scenes live, right?
12 hours.
And I gave her my phone with a setup, and that woman was all over this house with that camera
For
for
12 hours
12
nonstop.
hours. I mean, she did phenomenal. Every time I tried to move somewhere, she was in the way. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Mika.
Mika,
Tamika
oh
held
my
down the food.
gosh.
I went outside. I was like, Tamika, what do you need? Do you want to take a break? She's like, I'm good. No, I'm good.
That,
She made some chicken
yes,
tetrazzini.
yes,
Woo!
yes.
Enough for 200 people.
200. Matt, I've been meaning to ask you, how many people you think actually came through in those 12 hours?
I would say, my math calculations are not great, but I would say about 190 people
You think we had 190 people come through total?
because we had 34 guests. 34 artists,
Yeah,
and several of our artists had 2 to 3 people with them.
yeah.
So I would say 34 times 3, and then you have our people,
Yeah.
and you have
We
our
didn't have people
amazing
that wasn't with
you have
artists.
our
'Cause I feel like
amazing
some other
friends
people came off
that
the street.
our amazing friends that came in just to show some love and support. Shout out to Anastasia. Shout out
Anastasia.
to
Oh,
Nook Turner.
yes, Nook came
Shout out to the
through.
mayor of
Of Maynard.
Maynard.
Yeah, he came through.
I mean, we had our friends and people come out and show
All the
love and
sponsors.
support. Shout out to our
Oh
sponsors.
man, Drew, I hate you wasn't here, but
Tater
oh my
Q.
gosh. Oh, and Tater Q didn't get to come through.
But the food was so good.
Yes,
We
everybody loved the
appreciate
food.
you guys so
It wa-
much.
yeah. Those were the surprises. Those were the surprises. Cause like I was ripping and running, and somebody came, "Hey, you know the mayor's here." I said, "Oh, he is." And he's over there. He comes around the corner. "Hey, man, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know." Or when Anastasia, I gotta tell the story. You want me to tell the
And
story?
then, wait,
Oh.
should I finish my shout outs or you want to
Oh
tell
no,
the
no,
story?
no. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of shout outs. I'll try to keep it quick. Shout out to the girls holding down the hostess table, Brooklyn by way of Austin, Savannah, also known as Coco by way of Austin. Those are my girls. And then our 2 Bryces holding down the camera. Already shouted our Bryces out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had our guys in the control room.
Yeah.
Shout out to John and Marcus.
Yes.
And we had an amazing bartender. What was the
Black on black.
Black on Black bartending? Shout out to Black on Black bartending.
Yeah.
And
he
our
was really good.
security was on point.
Yes.
On point. We
Brooklyn
had something
Security
come
Company.
up, and I mean, one of the guys came and talked to me quietly, so calm, and it was nothing that had anything to do with us or our home. But those guys were so good; they were noticing stuff going on around our home that had nothing to do with us. Frank, shout out to Frank, head of the security. He was on it. He came and got me discreetly, calmly, and quietly.
Yeah.
I mean, but just
And it didn't even. It was almost like they wasn't even here. And see,
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. When if you have an event like that, especially with hip hop, and then you go and put uniform officers in there, and it builds the tension in the
Yeah,
in
it
the
does.
in the event. Where these guys, they just blended in like everybody else, and I saw them move around and stuff going through, and I seen them, but I didn't see them at the same time. Yeah, that worked out really good. Go ahead.
And
finish.
shout out to Solomon by way of Austin. He was our spotlight director, but he was also a whole vibe all within himself.
Oh yeah,
um,
he was something else.
And yes, yes, we had fun. And then what is the one more person that I was our photographer? What's
Yeah,
his
Zach.
name?
Zach photography.
Zach. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, Zach. Me, you, and Divine. We're gonna go kick it.
You funny man. Okay, I was getting ready to tell a story,
That Anastasia.
but here's we at the story part. So the story from last night that nobody on the stream saw, the behind the camera moments that need to be recorded. So I'll let you go first. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, I'll go first.
Because I already know which choice is on.
Well, I got stories. Like I said, we got 2 different experiences in the same doggone place. But I had talked to Anastasia about co-hosting, and I wanted to see if she wanted to come through. She said she would come through. I didn't have my phone at all. because it was being used for Instagram. So I wasn't getting any messages. Even if I had my phone, I probably wouldn't have had a chance to look at it. Period. But it was coming up on the 6 o'clock hour for the middle talk show, and we was using the talk show as a buffer for time. If the artist went over, we would use the talk show to get us back on track. If we was short, not short, we was long on time, and everybody finished up quick, we would use the talk show as a buffer, right? And I was also using the middle talk show break in order to like go use the bathroom, change my clothes, eat because I know we didn't have all that food and I ain't get to eat none of it.
So
Look.
much food.
And so, um, what happened was we didn't get the co-host, and Anastasia said she was coming, but things happen, stuff like that. So we getting close to 6 o'clock. I said I got to put this talk show on because I don't have the people that I wanted to come in to talk. So, excuse me.
That Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that beautiful Dr. Pepper. Uh, so I'm going around. I find Versatile C. I said, hey, would you mind sitting down and doing a talk show? She said, oh, no. I found New Era. Asked her the same thing. Fine. And I said, okay, I guess I'll just host this thing. I'll come up with some questions. We'll talk about ladies in the music industry and stuff like that and hip hop. And as I was going outside to go find if there was any more ladies I could put on the panel, I see a lady standing there talking to somebody. And I walk out and I said, oh my God, it's Anastasia. And my hands go up like we scored a touchdown. And my arms is just in the air like, yes, she's here. Oh my God, she's here.
And you were just asking me to check on her.
Yeah.
And she just was
I said, baby,
there.
did you call her?
She appeared like an angel.
Yes. Oh, right on time. Right on time. And so I gave her the biggest hug. I was so happy to see her. And then she pulled back and I went in tighter because I was so happy. I was like, you don't understand just what you just did for me. Because now I can go use the bathroom and change my clothes because I was all sweating out. Oh, my God. That was a big moment for me because that took a load off of me.
And check out her interviews. She did phenomenal with the
great.
Girls.
She was nervous. So what am I going to talk
So
about?
good.
I said, what are you talking about? You do this all the time. This is you. That's why I wanted to get a co-host that could relate to the artist. That way, you have natural conversations. I don't want it to feel like an interview. I don't want my interviews to feel like interviews. It's just conversations. I can sit here and listen to you and I can relate to what you're saying. So, yeah, it was... She was heaven sent that day. Oh my goodness. She didn't take no Uber.
Anastasia.
She took a cloud and came.
She was an angel. And she did phenomenal.
Yes. Well, tell your story. And I'm going to see if I got another one. I think I got another one.
So mine would be in the beginning. I don't know, maybe 2 hours in, maybe not even 2 hours.
Okay.
Frank, our security guy, came and got me, and he observed police that was at another house, 2 houses down from us across. He wasn't sure, like, if somebody complained about us. He just was making me aware. I really appreciated how professional he was about it. So I didn't tell anyone. Kevin just found out today.
Yeah, I just found. She said 2 hours in. That was a 12-hour broadcast. And the next morning, I found out the cops was up the street.
Yeah, like a house down across the street. And so he came and got me discreetly, which was great. I pulled out my phone because we weren't breaking any laws. We didn't do anything wrong. I walked down the street, checked the driveways, made sure nobody was blocking someone's driveway. But our security guards were telling artists as they walked up, hey, did you park in a good place? We want to be respectful of the neighbors. Make sure you don't block anyone. Like, those guys were phenomenal. And basically, I had my cousin being the nosy neighbor for me because I was too embarrassed to stand there and watch. So Danielle, I was like, no, Danielle, don't leave. I can't just stand there and watch them is like, I don't know. I felt embarrassed about it. So she was standing there just like this with a straight face. She was like, yeah, okay, the woman just handed the police officer a piece of paper. Okay, the officer is talking to the man and showing him the piece of paper. So it was, I thought it was so funny. But that was one of the things that happened that no one
No,
knew
I know.
about. One of the
Yeah.
behind the scene things, I pulled up Chat GPT, gave Chat GPT the whole scenario situation. I knew I wasn't breaking any rules, but I wanted to have the words and I wanted to be able to articulate to the police. I wasn't gonna like read my phone, just reading it. It's stored here, and I was ready for him. I was like, all right, we're not breaking any rules. We on our, this is our home. I mean, I wasn't gonna have an attitude or nothing like that. Plus, we're friends with the chief of police, so I really wasn't worried about it. But yes, but that was a behind the scenes. I think it was funny. If you saw Danielle standing there like, they got a piece of paper out. Okay, yeah, the man's looking at the paper. I mean, it was hilarious. I was like, what are they doing now? Kind of like when we watch gory movies and I can't look, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what's
And
happening now?
I
What are
gotta
they
give it a blow
doing?
by blow.
Yeah, that's my story.
Okay, I don't have another story. So, but the next question is a good one. Hold on. The next question is, which artist surprised you the most? Not the headliner. Somebody who walked in and changed the room.
Hmm. That that's a hard question for two reasons. One reason is because there were parts when I kind of had to check out a little bit to check on people, maybe like someone outside wanted to give them a break, so I could have missed out on something. But Yardine, oh man, with that guitar with no just acoustic, I wasn't expecting that.
That wasn't acoustic.
What was it?
Because he had an amplifier.
Oh,
No, yeah, acapella. Well,
acapella.
not acapella because he played the guitar, but yeah.
I mean, but he didn't have like music in the
Right,
background.
he didn't have accompanying music. He didn't need it.
It
That
was,
is a
his
performer.
voice
Yes,
was
it was
like,
amazing.
I can't even describe it. He almost reminded me of like Prince in a way. Yeah, just
Ooh.
like if like I don't just it was something about his voice was just had but just had you in a zone, just kind of like a
He was smooth.
smooth,
He wasn't powerful with it. He wasn't like trying to get your attention. He was just laid back, smooth.
subtle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Subtle is
It
the
was
word.
just so subtle, but yet powerful.
Yes, it. Yeah,
And
he was good.
the guitar just like was singing to me. I was captivated.
I would say last night I didn't get to hear a lot, but what was cool is that we did sound checks the night before, and I did get to hear and experience the artist. So, just so you know, a week before Rhythm and Rise Live, we did a cipher. No, 2 weeks before. Yeah, we did it on the 14th.
Yeah.
We did a cipher, and everybody was in the house, and we recorded it and everything. And 2 weeks before the cipher, we told them we was going to do the cipher because it was a kind of a last minute thing that we thought of to help promote. And so all the artists wrote some stuff, but you can write something today, but to have it down to get on the stage and perform it 2 weeks later, yeah, I'll admit that we didn't put them in the best light with the cipher. The cipher came out good, but
Didn't have
if
enough
they would have
time.
had a month, that cipher would have came out excellent, right? That's how I feel about it. So me seeing them really perform and hearing them and everything was for the cipher. Now, when we did sound checks and they came in with their music, the music they've been performing to, and they know, it was like night and day. These people came in here and they were not playing. Einstein got up in here and started singing. I said, "Who the hell are you?"
Yes, that part.
Because I thought you was a rapper.
That really surprised me too. I was like, "Whoa,
Cameron Taylor.
Einstein sings."
Cameron Taylor. she got in here and started singing. I'm like, whoa,
Her
where,
voice is
where did
so
all that come
beautiful.
from? You know?
She's so tiny and petite, and then she got this voice that just will blow you away. But
Yes, she's
it's
so small and me.
you wouldn't
Hello,
expect that to come out of
yeah.
her.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Miss Chalet. You remember Miss Chalet?
Yeah.
Now, not the voice differential, because Miss Chalet had the really squeaky voice, but then when she sang, she had this really deep voice.
Yes.
It's just her demeanor has shifted when she started singing, and it's like, whoa, where did all this come from?
Yes.
That's why I said when I got up here, I said, man, you look like an elementary teacher. She said I was
Kindergarten teacher.
kindergarten.
I can see that.
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
TGN Lanks, Isaiah.
So good.
I was in the control room when Isaiah was here, and I heard people singing his songs out here. And I'm like, whoa, he got his whole fan base in here. I was just, and everybody was so good. Mel was good.
Divine.
Divine was good. And bless her heart. She know I love that song, What Sexy Is. Yeah. And she did that song. And I was like, I don't know. It made me feel good that she heard that I liked her music and decided to put her music on the show set. That was special to me. Who else stood out to me?
Ife Divine.
Yes. Wow. Her, Booger Brim.
Booger Brim.
She stood out, and she got out there. And see, people think that with hip hop, you can't be sensitive and have feelings. But she did that last song, and she was just like, she almost looked like she was going to break down and start crying. And I was like, whoa.
Cali Freak.
Yes. I thought everybody surprised me.
Everybody. Big
because
Tone, Tim Shorts.
You see the videos on their Instagrams. You can go see them live at a club downtown.
Untitled.
Oh, my God. Untitled Flow. They were looking for, when is Untitled Flows going to perform? They was blowing up the chat. When is he going to get on here? And then he got in here.
He killed it.
Oh, my God.
Killed it. It's so good.
So good.
And I love how it was so versatile. It was hip-hop, but the last
Kinda
song
rocky.
that he did had, just a whole different.
Yeah, he has a really good vibe. Ryan Dove, like,
Yeah.
I was surprised by everybody.
Cocaine, you wouldn't even
Yes.
expect for him to rap like that.
And he
I'm
was
like,
nervous. He said he was
dude,
nervous.
wow.
He was like, man, I hope I can do this. I said, no, man, you got it. And
There's so many,
Yeah.
many. The Flow Mob.
yeah, oh, my gosh.
I was dancing hard on the sideline. People, that's another thing that people couldn't see behind the scenes. I was dancing, y'all. I was working and dancing.
Yeah, it was packed in there. It was packed. A lot of people don't know how many people was in the house for that. And yes, she was over there dancing. She'll be behind the camera, moving the camera. And so if the camera was shaking, you know why it was shaking.
Oh, I was keeping a steady hand. And then I was,
The next question is, did anything happen in the green room, in the hallways between sets that we need to share? I didn't get to go to the green room much because it was upstairs, and I was too busy to go upstairs.
I went up there a couple of times just to put eyes on artists if they were in the lineup soon. And people were up there chilling. They were looking over the balcony at the
That's the
stage.
one thing I noticed. And I thought that was so cool. I would look up and people would just
supporting each
hanging
other,
over, just watching, or they would be videoing and stuff.
Yes, they were just supporting each other, just the love.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
We had an artist that had another show, and she used the green room to like change when she got here, and then she changed again, to get ready for her next show. Thank you for taking the time out. I know you had a lot going on that day and already had things planned. We used our bedroom as a lounge for our volunteers. Yeah. So any random time you walk in there and see somebody on the floor like this, or with their food, and our room was really, really, really cool and cold and
that's
calming.
The thing that people didn't understand. Because as soon as I woke up yesterday morning, I cranked that AC down because I knew that with all this equipment and all these people, that it's going to get hot in here. Now, what's funny, The thermostat only got to 74, but I had it down to 50. So that AC never cut off. And 74 degrees with all these people in here, it felt a little bit warmer. I don't even know how warm it felt upstairs.
Upstairs felt good.
Okay,
Upstairs wasn't warm, and I'm surprised because heat
because we got a
travels
dual zone.
up. Mm.
Yeah, so I cranked up the AC up there too, so some of that cold air could come downstairs.
We had a couple
But
of
it was warm
fans
in
in the
here,
background that you couldn't see.
and if you running around working and everything, you'll get to sweating. So I seen every time I went in that bedroom to go do something, there was somebody laying on the floor, and I was like, man,
And we
I don't
have
blame
we
you.
have a chair in there. We have a what is that at the end of our bed that you can sit on?
Ottoman
We have an ottoman in there, a chair in there. But every time I went in there, whoever was in there was like laid out on the
on
floor.
the floor. Yeah,
It's like,
it was 74 degrees out here, but it had to be like well,
I would
almost
say
60 in the
60.
bedroom.
60 for sure.
I wish it would feel like that when we in there, cause it don't seem like it feel like
It
that.
felt like that this morning. And
Yeah, the
last
whole
night.
house felt like that this morning.
Yeah.
But the bedroom usually don't feel like that when we close the door. It usually gets hot.
And
So
another thing you didn't get to see behind the scenes is like just the activity going on in the kitchen with Tamika. I mean, so professional, bringing the food in and out and keeping it moving,
yeah.
keeping everything covered, making sure everybody had what they need
Hmm.
as far as, food.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't get to see any of that. I know when the food came, that y'all was putting the food in smaller pans so we could
Keep
distribute
it
out during the
fresh.
day. I barely seen that. I know y'all was doing it. I seen it, but I didn't see it.
So discreetly, quietly.
Yeah, that worked out really good. um, for me, anything that happened in the hallway, it was just me saying "excuse me." Like people would be in the hallway, and I was slithering through people, like moving all fast and everything. I didn't bump into anybody. I was weaving through traffic like it was nothing.
Bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, bobbing and weaving. I did see a lot of people hanging out. I just couldn't focus on him because I would see somebody I'm like, is that somebody I know? Oh, never mind. And I just kept going. What else is said in the upstairs? I only went up there once.
What did you see when you went upstairs once? What did you see?
The my mistake. I should have had a trash can upstairs or a trash bag. That was my
That is
mistake.
funny.
And if we do it here again, I would definitely want to get a volunteer just to be upstairs and take care of stuff like that.
I mean,
don't.
the
I don't.
upstairs wasn't trashed out. It was just
No,
a couple of plates.
It wasn't trash. Here's the thing, which is I think was interesting. Yes, they left their trash upstairs, but they didn't leave it all over the room. It was all stacked up neat on the table. And I'm like, but if you're gonna do that and organize the trash, why don't you just take the trash out? But I think if we would have had some trash bags just sit up there, I
They would've
believe they
put
would have
it
put it in the trash bag.
For
So
sure.
that's definitely my fault, and I didn't. I I couldn't think of everything. I was trying to think of every detail. I could probably think of every detail if I didn't have to sit up here and
And
try to accomplish every detail.
we usually have a trash can
Yes.
upstairs. Where is
The
it?
trash can is outside,
Okay.
and that's the other thing. Outside, I wish I would have put more trash bags and hung them up because we had
Trash
the
cans.
trash cans, and I put one trash bag on one of the canopies. I should have tied a trash bag on each one of the legs. That way, people had more opportunities to put stuff in the trash. But the backyard was not trashed at all.
No, the upstairs was not
It
trash.
wasn't trash.
The backyard was not trashed out. Just
You
a
know,
couple of plates.
people. I mean, I get it. They weren't here to clean up our house, but they was respectful enough to say, okay,
Stack it.
and they stacked it up, moved it to the side, and
That is
everything.
funny.
And it made it easier to pick it up, later. So I'm not mad at nobody. I think, like, you hard pressed to find that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was surprised about that. Any other stories? Well, I spent a lot of time in the control room, which was supposed to be Melinda's job, and I knew better because she runs the show when I'm on. She runs the
But
behind the scenes.
I was back and forth.
Yeah, but no, you was not back and forth. You was you was supposed to be in the control room the whole time.
But I have to see what's going on and check everything outside
Really
too.
and truthfully, I think the job you did is the job you should have.
What
You are
what would that be
you
called?
are. Wait a minute.
What is the name of that
I,
job?
well, hold on. The dragonfly.
I
What
like it.
what did Zach tell you? The photographer. What did he tell you?
I was floating around like moving around like a butterfly with a positive, good energy and taking care of everything and everybody.
So the title for that would be hostess. There's nothing wrong with you being a hostess. Uh, I'm not saying you can't be a director. What I'm saying is, why try to shove you into something that I'm not saying you're not, but you're so much better being a hostess, bringing that energy to people, making people feel comfortable and want it. That's what you did. The reason why everything went the way it did is because you did that. People
Thank
saw
you.
you and they saw you smiling and having a good time, and that infects everybody around you. Just like negativity affects people around you, positivity does too. And you brought energy to this that was much
Thank
needed.
you, honey. But I would have to say
Uh-huh.
I don't really know. I think Dragonfly would be better than Hostess
Poor
because
dragonfly.
because I was also working cameras. I was also
Yeah,
working spotlights.
I know you
I
was.
was
You was filling in where you need to fill in.
exactly
But why were you filling in?
to make
Because
sure everybody was okay
and to have
and to
breaks.
give people
See
breaks.
what I'm saying? That's what you was doing.
And I
That
even
was your
gave the
job
guys a break in the
in the
control
control
room.
room.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I say I don't want to shove you in a director's role. What you do is more valuable than that.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Facts.
So when y'all see the credits
And you see
next
it.
year, it's gonna say Dragonfly and it's gonna say Melinda Stewart.
Yes, it will say Melinda Stewart. Okay. We did a sponsor panel. We did a ladies of hip hop, and we also did Austin Legends, kind of, sorta, but yes. Um, which of those conversations stuck with us for hours later?
Okay. I heard you say the
So the one that I sat here with two of the sponsors,
right,
the one that Anastasia hosted,
right,
and the
and
one I
the
did
last
with
one.
DJ Slice and Mr. Shorts.
Hmm. So I was able to kind of listen to all three of them, but I would say the one that Anastasia did really stuck out with me the most. It was fun listening to an artist that has been in the Austin music scene for so many years, interviewing up and coming artists, the another generation, new era, and
Versatile C, yeah.
versatile C. It was fun watching that, and just like she asked really good questions. I
Yeah.
think my favorite question that she asked them was about doing covers because when you're an artist and you have your own music that you want to sing and perform versus you have a favorite artist and you love their song, you want to sing and perform it, and which she didn't ask which would they rather do, but the question was more like, do you are you ever asked to perform, a song by do a cover, like whenever you're performing? And both of the girls, I think, said no. That usually people just want to hear their original music. So that was a take on that. That was fun. I enjoyed that interview.
So I didn't get to hear a lot of that interview because that was my chance to recuperate.
And change.
But for what I heard, it was a lot of discussion that me and her had on our interview because one of the things I heard them talking about was, you know, uh, are you gonna be raunchy and sexy and all this other stuff? And they like, no. Why do I need to do that? There's many things in this world to talk about besides sex, and I think that's rough for um, female artists, especially hip hop artists, because there's this expectation that you're gonna just shake your ass and stuff like that. So,
And Lynx took it to a whole nother level.
that was
She
totally
was
different.
sexy and vulgar with it, but not the way people think the woman would be.
Yeah, yeah. She
It
put the
was kind
script
of
on that.
like, yeah, but sorry.
But I didn't get to really experience the whole interview. Um, I hosted the interview with a talk show with the sponsors at the beginning. That one was meaningful to me because those were two people that seemed what what I have done in the past and worked with them and wanted to be a part of it automatically. Like literally with Elmer, you know, I
Shout out
just
to Elmer.
yeah, Elmer Fisher, and I said, hey, I'm putting on this event, and he says, all right, I'm down. I said, you don't want to hear what it's about? He said, I don't need to, and I was like, wow, you know. And then with Miss Candace, you know, from the past being on the Lady Joy Forever podcast, she was like, when I approached her with it, of course I'm a sit up here and be a sponsor. Why would I
Shout
not?
out to Miss Candace and those
Delicious
delicious
cupcakes.
cupcakes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that Mexican vanilla.
Oh, that went
It
first,
will
didn't it?
bring a tear to your eye and take you somewhere.
Wow.
It's like, ah.
See, y'all just on that now. See, I was on that way back then when we was on the show because she would
You've
bring in
been missing
cupcakes
out
all the
these
time.
years.
I still got a picture of me sitting up there eating one of them cupcakes, um, with that tequila shot in it. Um, yeah, that one was meaningful to me. But when I sat down with DJ Slice and Mr. Shorts, that one was fun
I enjoyed that.
because it was cool to talk about hip hop and how hip hop affected us when we were younger. He asked who is my top uh, hip hop artist, and I was like, oh man, you making me think, but I don't have to think very hard. I knew it was Rakim, and then when he said Rock, I said, what the hell? But that's why me
Someone
and him
said
vibe.
LL Cool J.
I
I'm
said LL
bad.
Cool J.
Oh, that one. No,
Me
I
and
can't
Slice,
feel like I
we
can.
vibed. We always vibe because he was in the Marines, I was in the Navy, and we worked together. In the past, he was part of the first event like that we put on the Soul
What
and
was the
Savory,
name of the
the Soul and
Soul
Savory
and Savory?
showcase, and it was we did that thing, and we had it put together with bubble gum and duct tape. It was all over the place. We had oh my gosh, I went and bought a Subway platter, and I bought maybe
Couple of bottles.
about $200-300 of alcohol. Uh, Somebody in the building had an office, and I asked them if I could use their office to put the food and stuff in because my studio wasn't big enough for that and for us to do stuff. Um, we had artists come in when they felt like it, and we had a lot of downtime in between, and we just filled it talking about different things. It wasn't a showcase. It was more like a talk show with a few musical guests.
That is funny.
But
So artists could just come in. It wasn't like
no,
on the schedule.
no, it was supposed to be on the schedule. Well, hold on. No, time out. That was my first attempt. This time, I was a lot more organized because I didn't want to leave things up to chance. You can't just tell an artist, hey, come in and just do your thing. You have to be specific. Hey, I need you to come in at this time on this date
These
for
many
this
minutes.
long, and you can do this many songs, and they cool with it. Okay, but if you leave it with it vague, oh, you may not like the results you're gonna get, and so that's what happened. I had lined up like 20 artists, and out of those 20, maybe 6 7 of them actually show. The ones that wanted to do stuff, they did. We even had a lady that was in town for South by Southwest from California, and she came in and she enjoyed it. So it was a good vibe. It was a good
Yeah,
experience. It's
and
just
And
it was unorganized.
you also had like not just artists, but like
Businesses.
people, right?
Yeah,
Black owned businesses, right?
yeah.
Like
That's when
local.
I met Bobby Mack, Miss Bobby Mack. She was talking about her credit building. What is it? Credit rebuilding or credit building? I don't know. If you don't
Shout
have it,
out to Miss Bobby Mack.
I don't know which one to say, but I had put out on Facebook, hey, if you got a business, you want to talk about it, we doing this show, come on down to this address. And people started showing up. And, friends of mine showing up. And we just put everybody on the show. But I knew this one, I needed to be more organized. And the reason why it was so well organized, I got to say this. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. I was able to bring my daughter in.
Big shout out to Ashley.
She she I told her what I was trying to do, and she was like, "Wow, that sounds cool. I want to be a part of it." It shocked me, and she's been a driving force for Rhythm and Rise Live. And she brought in her sister. She brought in her sister to. I'm breaking up. Let me give him another microphone real quick.
Yep, the power team.
Test 1 2. All right, we better.
Yeah, that sounds much
So
better.
she brought her sister in to help with the marketing, and they just blitzed the internet with Rhythm and Rise. And her sister
Those girls
came
are
with a
phenomenal.
whole marketing plan, when we was gonna do stuff, how we was gonna do it. We had weekly meetings. She would have all the analysis of the social media and what was tracking, what was doing good, what was not doing good. It was amazing. She was always like, "How did this work? How's this? How you feel about this? Maybe we should implement this." And that that's the reason why this event went off so well, is because they had me focused. They took a lot of that off of my shoulders, especially the social media. People don't understand. You do an event, you can't do the event and social media. It is too much work, because you have to stay on top of social media, and that's what they did.
And emails. They
Emails,
did
they was
emails.
on the
They was
emails with the artists.
so phenomenal.
They stayed on them about the
thank you, girls.
contracts. Yeah, it was huge. Help. That's the only, not the only reason, but that was the biggest reason why this was so organized, because it allowed me to step back and focus on other things to make sure things was organized. Oh, and one more person that really helped organize this thing, Claude. Uh, I have
I was like,
who
ooh,
Claude. Let me tell you, Claude and me have been working.
wait,
What?
you might want to. Some people don't know what
I
Claude,
will. I
who
will.
Claude is.
I'll explain. Claude and me have been working on this event from the day it was born to right before we turned this camera on and went live. Like, me and AI, I'm into the technology, as you can see. I love it. I love it. And so when AI came out, I've been using it. I was using it before people was talking about ChatGPT and Claude. And so, yeah,
You turned me on to
I
it.
turned a lot
I
of
use
people
it for
on to it.
everything.
And I wanted to really use this at a level that other people weren't. I wasn't just asking it for recipes. I sat with this AI and fed it who I was, as much as I could. And from the grant writing process, the planning process, the execution process, all the way to these questions I'm reading. Because I didn't have to sit up here and put a big prompt in. Oh, I need questions. All I had to say is, hey, me and Melinda finna do a recap. Go ahead and write me out some questions for this. Boom. It already knew. It already knew we did the event last night. It already knew who all the artists was. It knew the times. It knew all that stuff. All I had to do was just
Impressive.
say, give it to me. because I put the time in with it ahead of time to do it. So what people don't realize, like literally, what y'all don't realize is that from the birth to now, Claude has been part of every step. When I wrote that grant, literally, I had Claude research grants for everything. Then I said, okay, take the questions that's going to be on the grant and ask me about each question, and I will feed you with answers. And so then it would write out some stuff, and I'll go through it, and I'm like, okay, this sounds hokey. No, this is too thin. This is way too much. And me and Claude, we whittled it down to get it just right. And it, just like me, I don't know what I was missing. I didn't know. Claude didn't know what we was missing, but we know now because all the results from that grant I put into Claude, and I said, "Hey, look at this. This is what we were short on. This is what we need to work on." And so we used that to plan everything that we was doing. But you may not even know this, baby. So that's why I'm telling the story, because I feel it's important because people don't know what you can really do with AI. Everybody's up in arms. Oh, it's taking this and that. Sure, if that's how you feel, then that's what it's going to be. But just like a house, the in a house, go look at a brand new house. All the walls are white because people can't see the vision. You got to just give them a blank slate. That's what I'm showing you. That AI is that blank slate, and is what you make of it with that tool is what you can do. So
We need to feed AI more so it can.
can help us better. Yeah, but there's a lot of hangups. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just gonna talk about how it helped us make this event successful. So if you look at the broadcast, we had a light show.
Yes, an
Now
impressive light show.
there's programs out there, and there's controllers and everything to control light shows. But I don't have a full crew. I just had who I had. And there's programs out there that control this stuff, but you need at least a year to get proficient at it. And I didn't have a year. Plus, with everything else I'm doing, I did not have time to sit here and do that. So I said, I need a solution. So me and Claude sat down, and I did some coding. That was my first time. Well, no, it wasn't my first time vibe coding. I tried to make a game vibe coding, and I could see the potential, but I also knew, and what people don't understand, you just can't say make me a game and this thing is gonna look like fucking Grand Theft Auto. It's not gonna do that. It's what you put in. Like the saying is, garbage in, garbage out. People say AI slop. It's like you can say AI slop all you want, but AI starts with humans. So if the human is putting in slop, then you can't sit up here and say the AI is not gonna put out slop, right? It's just going to take the garbage you put in and it's going to reproduce that garbage. That's what people didn't understand.
True.
And when I was making this game, that's what I realized. So I said, Claude, we need to make a light show program to control all this stuff. First, what will I need to sit up here and make it happen? Oh, well, besides your lights, because I told her the lights, it says you need this kind of controller and everything. I said, okay. And then I don't ever go the first time and just say, okay, Claude, since you told me that, now I'm just going to jump on it. I did my own research. How is this going to work? What do I need? What's the specs and everything? Then I went back and I said, well, hey, this thing says I need this and this and that. You didn't say that. Oh, man, good catch. My bad for not telling you that. I said, okay, I'm watching you. And we need to fix that in the future. And we had a discussion. Because if you don't treat AI like a person, or like not a person, but like an assistant, you're gonna get exactly what you said. If you vague with what you're saying, you're gonna get vague results. So we worked back and forth with that, and we ended up creating the program in order to run the light show. I told her what the event was because it already knew what we was trying to do. It would make, and I didn't want to sit up here and have controls, and I had to do this. I wanted it automated. So it understood that, and it made different automations for different moods. And so if we had an R&B singer up there, we can hit smooth mode. We can go hip hop mode. We can go to high energy mode. Push of a button, bam, it was there. I loved it. I just wish the smoke machines was hooked up to it, and it automatically did the smoke machines.
But you pressed the button
Yeah,
somewhere in the other room.
I pressed the button, but I wanted it to be automated too. And I found some on Amazon, but I was like, when you get too far in, you don't need to be making changes to shit. You just need to just stay on course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
parking lot it, and for the
yeah, for next one.
yeah, because this is happening again every year.
And so after doing that light program, I was like, wow, this is great. So when we did the cipher, and basically with the music, I was just using the media player, and it wasn't robust enough. And my son, he had found this DJ software. He said, you should use this instead. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, but it's too complicated for me to learn in 2 weeks. And then I got to teach somebody else. I said, hey, Claude, here's what we need. We need to be able to play music out loud for the artist to perform to. Also, monitor the music cued to come up behind it to make sure everything is good. We need to be able to control the effect stack automatically, and we created this program. I didn't find anything out there that did it. It might be something, but this thing was intuitive. It was easy to learn. I showed my sound guy 2 seconds, bam, he was on it. Wow. And that worked out. And so then,
That's
like
impressive.
right now on this stream at the bottom, there's a ticker. I said, man, I want this ticker showing who's performing, who's coming up next. I said, how do I do that? Hey, Claude, how can we do that? He said, don't worry about it. I'll make it automatic. I said, perfect. It wrote a program. So we can go through and have each artist, it'll say who's playing, who's next. It was all in order. Hit the button to advance. But if we had to change something on the fly, it made a different file that we can update. We push it in. Boom, it was there. And it was like all the things. That's just the programs. The credits I made with Claude. The opening, I use Leonardo, and I edited it together. The music, created that on Suno, and it's like, here's the thing, and I don't want people to get stuff confused because it's easy for somebody to say, well, why didn't you hire somebody to do that for your event? And I agree. I could have hired somebody to do that for this event. But the thing was, I wanted to do something for the artist that was coming here to perform. You imagine 36 artists. We didn't even pay them the going rate for artist performances in the city. And I'm working on getting to that level. This was just the first one, and we had to do it out of our pockets. But we wanted to make sure everybody left with something in their pocket. But we didn't even come close to what they normally would get, right? So, if I had to hire somebody to do all that stuff, I wouldn't even have been able to give them that appreciation, you know, for them performing. So it's not like I can't be creative and come up with stuff. Plus, I know the feel that I want. I knew how I wanted the music to sound, and I worked with Suno to get the sound that I wanted. I worked with Leonardo to get the look that I wanted because I wanted to have like hip hop and R&B royalty on the screen. That's why you see the guy with the hoodie. The hoodie is like the crown. You have the queen R&B, and she turns around and she looks royal. She got the purple on. I did that purposely with the Austin skyline in the back. And yes, I could have found an artist to do that for me, but with everything we was doing coming from the ground up, I already have 1,000 moving parts.
And
It was just easy to do
well,
that for me.
And I would say that it's equivalent to you being an artist because you're feeding it specifically what you want. So maybe it's not pen and paper or what you use to draw with, but you're drawing it with your brain and your imagination is
Yeah,
still your creation. And same thing with the music. People use a guitar to make the sound. They use the drums to make the sound. You're still putting the music and sounds together.
true. That's a
It's
good point.
it's still something you can hear with your ears. It's just a different type of instrument.
Yeah, a different tool. Yeah, I mean, it was so many things that we did that we couldn't focus that long on just certain individual things. So, yes, I made the music. Yeah, it took me some time to get the music going, but it's exactly what I wanted. Can I tell the mistakes that was in it that AI made? Of course. And it bugs me. And I can sit up here and try to tweak that, but it was like, no, it's gonna be good with that. The video stuff, yeah, they had some problems with it. Was I completely happy with it? No, but it worked for what we was trying to do. And it was other things that we was designing. These lanyards, we designed these lanyards because we wanted to have something for the artist to give them, right? And that logo that's on our shirts was generated me and Claude, and I liked it so much. It's like it felt like it was ours. You know, you may not even know this, baby. The title, the name, Rhythm and Rise Live. Me and Claude
Yeah,
brainstorm. Oh
because
yeah,
we
you
talked
do know
about it. We
because we
talked
I
about
gave you
several.
choices.
Yeah, you
It
asked
was
me which
a
one did
lot
I
of
like.
different sources because I told it what I was trying to do. My whole vision and everything. And I told it give me 20 titles for this thing, and it put out some stuff. Some stuff was like, that's weak.
And
That's too strong.
I voted for Rhythm and Rise Live.
And I think Rhythm and
Hmm.
Rise Live is a combination of two of those choices, and we put them together.
Because Live came later because it was Rhythm and Rise.
That was it. And I'm like, this is cool, but it doesn't really capture what it is that we're doing. Plus, there's a lot of, if you look, there's a lot of rise and rhythm and rise and this and that. But then nobody's rhythm and rise live.
And Live just makes it live,
Yes,
liver.
right, because
Gives it that
it
extra.
says what we're doing is live. So I thought that was important. But Claude didn't give the last was choice. It helped us come up with a choice, and that's how we was using it. We just did say, "Do this for me. I'm gonna sit back and you do everything." Now, don't get me wrong. Claude's still stupid. It got me last night because what we did, I was reading off the cards because I didn't just want to go up there winging it. I wanted to give everybody an introduction and give them they flowers, but it kind of mixed up some of the artists. It would say R&B and it was hip hop, and then some of the
Yeah, I caught
R&B
that.
it said hip hop. And the first time I was reading through it, I was like, "Goddamn, Claude, you got me." And fair enough, it was working off of the information that I had from all the interviews I did, but it got confused and it mixed up some of the people, and I didn't pre-read all of the cards because it was 36 cards that we had to make, and we made them win last.
It was last week.
Yeah, it was like
Um,
on Tuesday we was printing these things out,
mhm.
and hell, we had a time just printing them out. Like you know, I didn't.
Oh boy.
I wasn't even trying to read it. I was just like, we need to get this done because I need to get on the next thing.
Yes, we messed up on some of them.
Also, we had the thank you cards that we had to do. Um, we printed out envelopes for each one of the artists with the thank you cards in it because we wanted to make it personal.
We signed every
We
card.
signed every card. We felt like that was important. So AI helped with so much of this. Oh, also, baby, real quick, go grab one of the bags.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, grab one of the bags. I want to show that bag.
We don't have everything that
We don't need that. We just need the bag. I want to show this because, like I said, AI helped so much in the production of this show that you're not even aware of it. because I want to show you the bag that we made custom to for gift bags for the artists. I don't know why I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just talking. Baby, what you doing? Baby, baby, what you doing? The bag's right there. Where you going? It's not. They're not outside. They right there on the counter. Well, anyway, she done took off. Pretty soon she gonna be. Oh, she was trying to find. You let Melinda go outside. She gonna take her shoes off and she gonna start walking in the grass. Yeah, all of it. Oh, so the logo for Rhythm and Rise Live, that was me, Leonardo, and Claude. Yeah, yeah. You right in front of the camera. Also, and you can come back. This bag, I made this on Vistaprint, and Vistaprint has AI also on it, and so we made the background with the records and everything, and we put the logo on it, and I just those things I wanted to do because I feel like it's attention to detail, but you know how long it would have took me to try to make this on my own. Not that I can't do it. I could easily do this in Photoshop
Did you
and
miss
stuff.
me?
Yeah, you see, I was calling you. I was like, "Where you at? Where you going?" and and we could have sent this out to get somebody to design it, but I think something that people don't realize is when you're trying to do something, you only have so much money in the budget to get stuff done, and you, you got to make it happen, And so those things happen because I was able to leverage the power of AI. So I just wanted to put that out there, and I'll get off all that for right now. Go ahead, baby. You got
Oh,
anything?
no, 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 no. I was trying to find our little hand sanitizer. So in the goodie bags, we had some candy, little hand sanitizers with our logo on it, and the koozies.
Yeah, the cool. And I know the little gifts are trivial, but I wanted them to have
And
something,
a lanyard.
something. I mean, how many times they go somewhere and perform, have to pay, and then they all they get is a drink and they out of there. And I wanted them to feel like, you know, they were part of something, and I want to continue doing that because I think it's important. But also,
Yeah.
on the flip side of that, with them having this stuff, if they walk around wearing that lanyard and somebody say, "Hey, what is that?" That's more opportunity for them. Because if you go to rhythmandriselive.com, you'll see all those artists, you'll see all their interviews, and you're going to be able to see their performances and all the behind the scenes pictures and everything. And that's more exposure for them. And if they come back again, we're going to have another page for 2027. We're going to have all that because it's about them
Yeah.
and that they're part of something.
Next year, it's going to be even better, and we will be able to pour more into the artists,
Yes.
invest more into the artists,
Yes.
and also the ones working behind the scenes. Next year, our volunteers will not be volunteering; they will be paid.
Yes. And we want to do that too. We want to be able to pay the volunteers for helping and
We
putting
want
on a
to
great show.
give our artists more compensation.
Well, they won't be volunteers at that point. They'll be actual staff.
Yes.
Staff. Yeah.
Then this will be.
A true statement. She
I
didn't
should
like
say
that.
volunteer. No,
I
I
like
didn't want staff on the back
I
of our
like the
shirts.
staff on the back of it because it feels like a festival shirt. Because a lot of people volunteer for festivals, and all they get out of it is maybe a meal and a T-shirt. But they wear that T-shirt with pride because they
And
work that festival
yeah, and I'm gonna wear it with pride, but I would like to wear it with pride to
with
the
your name
grocery
on it.
store without it saying staff on
You
the
can still
back.
do that. Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
you
just
just
like
oh
for it
my
to say Rhythm and
god.
Rise Live.
You if you can probably see her in the grocery store and she's gonna have a piece of tape over staff in the back. We're gonna let's move on so we can wrap this
Okay.
up because I don't even know how long. Oh, we've been on here. We started at 12. You know
What
it's
time is
it's
it?
1:46.
Wow, that's how you and Coop do that.
Yes, yes.
I'm like,
It's
how
easy.
are y'all on there for 3 hours?
It's easy. Now you see.
Yeah, now I
So
see. This is my first time doing this, by the way.
what can we share about how the stream actually performed? Where did it travel to? Did the international piece show up? So I'll just say right now, those last two questions, don't know how far it went. don't know the international piece of it yet because we just woke up and got on here. I haven't looked at
Literally.
anything, no analytics or nothing. But the first one, what can we share about how the stream actually performed? So I had rented a hot box to keep the food in outside, right? And it says 120 votes. Um, it's not 120 votes. And when I plugged it in and turned it on, it tripped the breaker
3 times.
3 times. Tried to move it to different spots in the house, tripped the breaker. And by that happening, day of, introduce a gremlin in the works. So by tripping the breaker in the family room where the main stage is, it reset the communication for the lights. So we had no lights. And thank goodness Marcus saw that when we turned on the lights. And I'm glad we did it early. Um, the lights was working in here, but not where the breaker trip. So I had to troubleshoot that in between acts. Oh, so I'm all crawling around on the floor. I had the ladder, getting up there on the ladder, troubleshooting the lights while
With the
people are sitting up there
screwdriver.
vibing and dancing. I'm on top of a ladder fixing stuff, right?
And hosting
And oh yeah, baby, hurry up and get down because you got to introduce the next next artist. I mean, literally, that introduced so many problems, but I'm so glad I did that early because I can't imagine what would have happened if I'd have did that an hour before the broadcast.
yeah,
So that was the
underneath those
first time we
problems.
tripped the breaker. Second time we tripped the breaker. Right before the broadcast, we was in the control room and John brought his laptop and he plugged it in. All of a sudden, boom, everything in the control room dropped. I'm like, oh my God, not again. What happened? So we had too much load on the control room, which also in these new houses, they make every breaker is a GFI breaker. So you can blow on it and trip it. So it's like I
It's
knew,
like a protection
yeah, and
mechanism.
boy, it didn't protect. It caused more problems. And so we had to reboot everything that was already set up right before the show. And a lot of stuff that was already on the computer was still there, but we didn't have time to go through and check everything. And so by that happening, 2 hours into the broadcast, we were talking about the lower thirds, and the lower thirds is like where it shows their name and everything of who's performing. And John brings to my attention, and I didn't realize this, that not all of the artists, lower thirds was on the main stage, but they were on the secondary stage. So I said, oh, that's no problem. We can just pull up the secondary stage on the preview and move it over. And I clicked that, and that computer said, you doing too much. We done. And that joker hard crashed right in the
I
middle of the
didn't even
broadcast.
know about that.
Oh,
You didn't. This is my
technician was
first
on the
time hearing
stage.
it.
Technician was on the
Oh,
stage.
that's why he had to redo it.
And so
Hmm.
I'm like, we was waiting for it to come back. We monitored the broadcast. The broadcast froze, and I had to make the call. I said, nope, this thing is dead. I hard reset the computer. I said, Marcus, stop the music. So the music stopped right in the middle of his set. Everybody's jam. And I came out there. I said, hey, we're going to have to start over. We just lost the computer. And
That's
so
what
I turned
happened.
around, ran back in here. We start rebooting. We start bringing things back up. And I hit broadcast again, and we was right back at it again. However, that second time, we didn't have no time to check anything. We just raw dogged it. We just went with what we had, and we was back on. That's so I don't even know how long we was down for. We was just down long enough for this thing for us to troubleshoot, reboot, bring it back, and start broadcasting again. So maybe it was down for 10, 12 minutes. I have to look and see how long it was. But and then technician just stayed on the stage, and we came
Yeah,
back and I said, "All right, get ready."
he kept it going. He didn't even. He just restarted.
Yeah,
He's like such a great artist. He just didn't even. He rolled with it.
And then after that, there was no more hiccups. So you'll see two parts. The first part is 2 hours and so many minutes long, and then the second part is 8 hours long. So we had no more problems with the broadcast after that. We didn't. We did risk it one more time. We tried to pull something up, and everything froze on the screen. We was like, "Oh no, not again!" But we waited, and all of a sudden it came back, and I'm like, "All right, we ain't touching nothing else no more. We just leaving it like
Hands
this."
off.
But that that taught something. That taught us something. It taught me something. Not that it's never happened to me before, and usually I'm cautious, and that's why I have everything ready ahead of time. But the breaker tripping really threw a monkey wrench in the works because it would have been a whole lot smoother if that wouldn't have happened. Because it's like dominoes. The breaker tripping, that first domino went down, which brought my stress level up, which cascaded into my hosting and everything, and my time management. It just kept dominoing. But once the volunteers kicked in and the artists was doing their things and everybody was just so helpful and stuff that it kind of like took one of the dominoes out of the loop and it just fell over and it stopped knocking dominoes over. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
it
worked out great.
having a great team makes a huge difference.
So we're gonna wrap it up with this. So Rhythm Rise Live 2026 is in the books. Knowing what we know now, what changes will we make for 2027?
Well, we haven't really had a chance to sit down and talk about everything. I mean,
We are sitting down and we
we
talking about
literally
it.
just got out of bed. We're being very candid with you guys too. But honestly, I would like to see us have like person to handle like the production part so it can take something off your plate
Yeah.
because you wear a lot of hats,
Yes.
and I think that that would help you
Yes.
because only you know how to do those things,
Yes.
and you're one person, and that is a lot a lot of responsibility on one person. So I would like for us to have a team to be able to handle that. Also, Tamika did great with her chicken tetrazzini. I made the spaghetti with meat sauce. But I would like to get the food catered next year. Um, so
With service.
yeah, with servers, that would free up Tamika, even though she did awesome with it. I'm not. I am used to cooking large quantities like that of food because at my daycare I cook for the kids and I make like 90 servings, but I didn't really have the utensils and the pots and the strainers and the things that I needed here for it to turn out good. And people don't really know this about me, but I love to cook. I love to serve. I love it. And so I cook with love. And it was missing the love because it was such a huge quantity
Yeah.
that I wasn't able to really like do my thing that I do with it. So I want to take that off my plate, and I insisted on doing it. I was like, no, I want to cook for everyone. I want to do that. I wanted to do that. And so what I would do differently is I don't want to do that
Yeah.
next year.
No, yeah. Yeah.
We can, yeah.
So I agree with you, and that was one of the things that Ashley brought up. She said you might want to get a production company, and I went against that for two reasons. The first reason was because we didn't have budget to bring in no production company. If we would have done that, we wouldn't have had money for nothing else at all. So I knew we couldn't go that route this time. Second thing is, this is what I do, and I wanted to sit up here and show people and showcase what I do, and what I know, and what I can accomplish.
And you did it.
Yeah, and that's
You
I
did
wanted to
damn
do
good.
that. I wanted people to come in and say, "Wow!" Like we got that a lot. There was one guy I don't know his name. I'm sure he said his name, but I didn't. I couldn't focus on it because I was moving too much. But he stopped me and he says, "Man, I do video production in Dallas, and what you have done here is amazing." And when somebody that does it stops and recognizes what you do, that was the reason why I wanted to do it. I wanted to show what I can do. Anybody can pay somebody to do something. You know what I'm saying? But when you do it, like me and Bryce went out there and built that back deck. But when people go out there and say, "Wow, this deck is really nice," it hits differently when you do it. And then when you tell people that you did it, it hits differently for them. So it's the same thing with this. It hits differently that you did all of this. That's I actually wanted that because I wanted to show off what I can do, right? And yeah, but next year, no, I don't want to do it. Now, if it's here, if it has to be here, then everything is already in place. I don't have to do anything else. All I need to do is fine tune the system, maybe upgrade it a little bit to make it better. And there's some things that I would do differently. But like the camera wise, shout out to Austin Public Access. Um, we was on channel 16, and you'll be able to see it on their website because it'll be on demand or video on demand. But like being able to borrow cameras from them, even this camera that we own right now, this is a really good quality camera, and to have access to that is really good. So, and I went through the producer program just so I had the ability to borrow these cameras, and to be able to have all the cameras of high quality like this, it would be great. Um, and it would bring up the production value. But if that's what we would do if we did it out the house. But if, and I ain't gonna say if, this is what we're gonna work towards, that we do this outside the house, it would definitely be a video crew doing this, a production crew doing sound, doing video, handling cameras and everything like that, because that's what they do. That's their craft. Just like the artists on the stage doing their thing. Nothing against the Bryces, but they not cameramen. They was just helping out.
There are sons.
Yeah, and you might see that in the video, but I don't hold that against them. I wasn't mad about it because
They did a good job.
They did good for not being cameramen. You know what I'm saying? And they have so much room to grow, and they willing to do it. So I don't have a problem with that. But I would love to get them doing something else that they would love to do in the event, and let some professionals take care of that. And that would take a lot of stuff off my plate. I agree with you with the catering. I would say that if we had sponsors and sponsors was donating food, with that we just
Shout
had
out to Tater Q.
Yeah, Tater Q and Poindexter Confections really came through.
Thank
And we
you.
have servers that would serve, clean up, things like that. That way we didn't have to worry about that aspect. Because having the bartender did take a
Was
lot off
great.
of us. Because he was licensed and everything, and it was important for us that nobody was too intoxicated to drive. We wanted everybody to get home safe. Plus,
Safety is a priority.
yes, because what's the point of doing all this stuff and then we send them out in these streets to get in trouble or potentially kill themselves or somebody else? So we thought it was important above everything else to make sure we had security and pay for the security and have a bartender so everybody can enjoy themselves and be responsible and get home safe. So I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we did that. So
we're gonna keep doing that.
service would be great, and if we don't have sponsors for food, cater, and a production company to do that would take so much. Just like the promotion, since we didn't have to do the promotion, that took a lot off of us, and we got a great result because we put that in other people's hands. So that would be definitely different. I think one thing I know would be different for 2027. I'm looking right at the camera with this. We will weed out artists. And what I mean by that, The artists that we had were were cooperative. They were thankful. They put in the work, not
They,
only with their performance, but we asked them to help promote. We had it in the contract, and, 3 months from the event, post once a day. 1 month to the event, twice a day. They did that. They was making their own videos.
very talented.
They was coming up with their own stuff. Hey, look at this. I made this. Can you use this? Great. They promoted themselves because they realized and saw the vision that everything that I'm doing, I'm helping myself. I can use this event to make me better. And that's the whole reason for us doing that. But there were artists that weren't pulling their weight. And the funny thing is, the ones that weren't pulling their weight, it's the ones that didn't show up. It's interesting how that works. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, then why should somebody else invest in you? You know? So that's what I mean by weed out. I'm going to stipulate in the contract that if you sign and over so much time you are not fulfilling these requirements, and it's not like crazy shit, it was basic stuff, that you are automatically out, and we are going to find somebody to replace you that want it, because that's what we want. We
Yeah.
want people in here that want it.
We had 36 artists, but we had much more that were interested.
Yes.
We just didn't have enough
Yes.
space and spots. So
Yes.
if someone is not willing to help us help them, then we are taking a spot from someone who would be willing to help themselves. So that person would be more deserving to have that spot.
Another thing we did, y'all don't even know this. We got very lucky that we didn't require any video submission to see if they was talented or anything. If you was willing to sign up and sign the contract, you was on the show. The great thing is, everybody that signed was phenomenal.
So great.
We
We really did.
we
get
got lucky. But next year, I mean, everybody that performed this year, they already in. There's no doubt they got first dibs. Anybody else, we're gonna say, hey, we need to see some of your work, and we'll make a decision.
Yeah. And we may have to open the slots so that we can have our artists back next year who are here.
Yeah.
So what may happen is our in between segments that last for like 45 minutes, the buffer segments,
Right.
we may take it down to
For
20
sure.
minutes
So we can get more
so we
artists
can
in.
have more
Mhm.
artists, because we had so many artists interested, even right up to the end.
Yes. Yes. You bring up a very good point. We can bring in more artists, and we are gonna vet them, because we don't want to just have anybody alongside these great artists we already family with. We want
They are a family now,
yes,
a Rhythm and Rise Live family.
and I say vet. I don't want to say just vet because of talent. We also want to vet to see how much work are you putting in to promote yourself. Because if you barely doing anything, that's not fair to these other people. Because the biggest thing, like I got a friend, I ain't gonna say their name. They were in a band, and it was 4 of them, and 2 of them was putting in a lot of effort to promote the band and make the band good, where 2 of them was just didn't care. And now the band is broke up. That's how bands break up, because not everybody's on the same level of effort. And these guys that just performed last night, all on the same level of effort, right? We don't want to bring somebody in that's not pulling their weight and make them feel like they pulling all the weight, because that's not fair. Because if everybody pulls their weight and does their part, then everybody blows up, and this thing is huge. That's why this was so
Win-win.
good last night, because everybody they were supporting each other. They were networking with each other, putting them on different stuff. Hey, I got this event here. You should come down and stuff. I got this open mic over here. You should come down. It was a beautiful thing, and we don't want to bring anybody in that's going to disrupt that. We want to bring in people that's going to benefit from that
And
and
add
contribute to
to
that.
it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So that's going to definitely be different for 2027. Is it anything else that you think would be different?
I definitely want our same team to come back as far as like our volunteers. I mean, I can't even imagine it being anyone else.
Is it a job that we need to add that we didn't have covered? Besides that upstairs person to make sure that Joker stays clean.
I would say we probably need someone for that specifically to walk around
And
because I
clean up.
was wiping little random wet spots, which I'm not gonna lie, I was dancing with my cup, so most of that
Probably
was
all that was
me.
you.
I was dancing.
Yeah.
So, but just somebody with a little dry mop to kind of like,
Yeah.
we don't want, like I said, safety is number one priority.
Yeah.
Don't want anyone to slip or hurt themselves. Someone to check the trash cans
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
just kind of like pick
Empty
up.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, someone, I would add that to our job description, kind of like janitor type of
Yeah.
position.
I definitely would get at least two more tech guys because they did good. But I
And a
had to,
production team.
what you mean?
Where you said to add jobs to add.
Yeah, yeah. Because like something happened with the camera, I had to go run out and fix it. It'd been good if they had another guy that could go out there and check that stuff. Also, the sound guy was doing lights, and that was cool. But I feel like the lights should be a separate job, and that they just focus on that. The sound guy focus on what he's doing. The video guy is focusing on what he's doing. Any other?
And we had a hostess table. So we
Yes.
had two hosts at the table, and we also had um, a artist liaison.
Yes.
But I think we need someone, a walking hostess. Does that make sense? Someone to check, like, to see, do you need water?
Oh,
Or
like the
do you
people
need
outside or
anything?
people
Yeah.
inside? Okay.
Like, are you, just to check on everybody, make sure they're good. I know every time I asked someone if they needed water, they were like, yes, please, thank you.
Well, wait a minute. But this was artists.
Mhm.
Okay. Because if you need water, just say you need water. Or go get it. It's not like we had not had a whole bartender to
but-
give out water.
Right? We did. Okay, maybe I'm an enabler.
Yeah. Because I'm like, if you're thirsty, you know you're thirsty, and you got a whole bartender. Like, how can you
said,
be
"Wait
sitting
a
there
minute,
with a
wait
drink
a
in your hand
minute.
and talk about I need water? It's like,
Wait
you
a
know where
minute.
the water
Every
is at.
time I asked someone if they needed water, they always said yes. And water is very important.
No, I get it. But it seemed like maybe we should have talked to the bartender and said, hey,
Encourage more water.
encourage water. And we didn't have enough water.
But
If we'd had
our
more,
our refrigerator is filtered water, and so
yeah, I saw the picture out there.
I put a whole picture out there, and I was putting it in cups and handing it out.
If we had more water, I would tell the bartender, you make a drink, give a bottle of water, go with it. That way, everybody had a bottle of water. Now, if you don't drink it, that's on you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But if you put a bottle of water in every person's hand, you should not be thirsty. That's
But
just
it's
me.
funny,
That's
though,
my
Every
philosophy.
single person I asked was like, yes,
Yes.
please,
Yeah,
thank you.
that don't make no sense. That makes no sense. Okay, let's see. Last question. Because I can't think of no other positions. No other
Can't either.
positions.
I think that
No,
everything
no
was
other
just so
position.
smooth.
Because everything went. We were so lucky.
So smooth.
The one thing each of us needs people to
Oh.
take away from the
They-
last.
I can't. Sorry
Oh,
for
go
cutting
ahead.
you off. I would say we need someone to work the stationary cameras because we didn't have anybody on the one on the corner.
Yeah, so
So
we had
I
two
mostly
camera
did
people
that.
working the steady cam, right? But
so
we didn't have
one of them-
anybody working the side cameras. And here too, because I was the one moving the cameras around for the artists when they came on the second stage, and that's cool. But yeah, it'd have been nice to have somebody
Yeah. So we need about
and
two
stage
more-
hands
2 or 3
because
more.
setting up for the talk show, I had to run over here, grab the stuff, put it on the set, and then Marcus would come out and help me. And then when this talk show was over with and we got the artist going, had to run over here, take everything off to get ready for the next artist. Yeah, stage hands would have been great. Just even if it was just one
One,
person.
yeah,
So we know
dedicated
for
to that.
next year what we're gonna need. Um, Either that or more stages. So so the last thing, and we're gonna get out of here. The one thing each of us needs people to take away from last night before we sign off. What do we want the audience to take away?
What I want the audience to take away from our 12-hour streaming last night is that there is value in our local R&B and hip hop artists. They are putting their heart in their music. They're putting it all out there. They're being vulnerable. This is their art, and it needs to be seen, heard, and appreciated. We should not expect for them to give us money for them to come and perform for us and bless our stage. We should be pouring into them and showing them love. So I just hope that we are a part of setting the tone of the way we should treat our local R&B and hip hop artists. We need to be pouring into them.
All right. Beautifully said. So what do I want people to get out of that live stream last night?
What What do you want people to get out of that live stream last night, Kevin?
Um what I wanted people to get out the live stream, because that's going to be two different things, because it's still posted and you can always watch it, but out of the live stream, that a lot of people came together to pull this off and make this work. We just didn't, hey, I got a great idea, let's just go live and in the middle of our living room and let's do some music. I've seen stuff like that and I'm not mad at them. I appreciate them doing that. But we put in a lot of effort to do this. Not just, man, what's up with these microphones been been going. I can hear I hear it cracking up. Yes, this one's not cracking up. We put a lot of effort into it. The volunteers put a lot of effort into it. The artists put a lot of effort into it. That's a lot of people. You in total, there's what, 40? No. Almost 50 people in total here to put on this live stream for people to watch for absolutely free. You know what I'm saying? I could have been in the bed. I had a lot of sleepless nights. She'll tell you. A lot of sleepless nights. A lot of wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm trying to solve a problem, or I can't really sleep because I'm working this whole thing in my sleep, and I'm up and I'm in here on the computer and she come in her robe talking about, baby, you all right? Now I'm working on this thing. I need people to understand that we did this on purpose. We did this for a reason, not just to stroke our egos or to try to make a fast buck. We did this for the love of those artists and the love of you. Because without you, these artists would not have nothing. I don't think people hear that enough. People put out movies, but they don't say they did it because they love you. Even Bobby Mack said, I love what Bobby Mack says. He says, I love you and there's nothing that you could do about it. Yes, we did this for the love of people. Straight up, and we need y'all to understand that. And we'll keep doing it for the love of people because we need more of that in the world, for sure. We already got too much rah-rah in the world. And we need to have more examples of people doing stuff for other people. I love seeing it. Every time I see something online where people just being nice to each other, it makes me want to miss stuff and everything, because it's like, man, where has that gone? If it was ever here. That's what I need people to get from this live stream. Because watching the video, yeah, you can understand that. But when it's live, and everybody comes together all at the same time with the same purpose to do this, that's huge. That is huge. And a lot of times we take stuff like that for granted. But last night, nobody did. And they saw it. And everybody was like, my God, I can't believe y'all did this. And I'm gonna address one thing that goes along with this, baby. A lot of people were saying, you doing this out your house? You gonna have all those people in your house? All these strangers that you don't know in your house? I would never do nothing like that. All them people in my house? I'm not gonna have all them people in my house. And I get it. I get it. You know, it's 2026. I get it. And yeah, a lot of these people that came through are strangers. Not a lot of people. Over 90% of the people that came here were strangers. Were strangers. They're not strangers now. But those same strangers that we did not know that came in our house respected everything we had. They didn't tear up anything. They didn't mess up nothing. There's no kick doors. There's no big spills anywhere. There's no broken furniture or nothing. We opened our home to these strangers, and these strangers treated us just like family. So it's like, okay, we was right. We were right to do what we did. And I don't have no regrets. And I will happily do it again. Because now, if we do it again, that's just more family that we have. You know? And these people feel like there's somebody out there that cares. Some of these artists, I'm going to say the name. Untitled Flow. After he did that interview, and we went in that kitchen, and you made him some soup, right? And he enjoyed that soup so much. He had 2 bowls of it, and he was so grateful. And he's like, man, I had such a bad day, but this is so nice. Y'all are such great people and everything. He told us what he was going through, and we sat there and listened, and we gave him some encouragement and everything. And he was just so grateful. And it was almost like he didn't want to leave. He was so comfortable, and it's like he hadn't had that in a long time. And we was able to do that for him. And it made us feel good. I get it, you know.
And I'm a hugger. And
yes.
So many people were like, oh, I love your hug.
Yes.
It made me feel warm inside.
Yes. Some people almost didn't want to go home. And some people we had to kick out. They was just, yeah. I'm saying.
And I would keep them.
Yeah. Einstein, they got to the point they were saying, I think it's time for us to leave because we've been here for a while. And it's like, no, you good, you know. We got the guest bedroom upstairs. You just make yourself at home. And these were strangers. And I think they better off after we open our home. And I know we are better off after we open our home. That's what I need y'all to understand about this stream. It wasn't just going live and, you know, putting on some video. This was building community, making human connections. Yeah, baby, you said it. It was a great thing. It was a great thing. Oh my God, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Hey, if you watch live, we thank you. If you didn't watch live, it's up there, and if you watch it, we thank you.
Thank you
so much. And we're gonna be here next year. We hope you're a part of it. Because there's a million videos out there.
There's a million videos out there that you could be watching, but you chose to watch us, and we want to thank you for that. And until next time, peace.
She did great. You did great.
Rhythm and Rise Live. Peace, and we out, I think.
This one for the dreamers. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Late nights with a notebook and a prayer, singing to the ceiling cause nobody was there. Heard every note, every closing door, but the fire in my chest still wanting more. Tired of the waiting, tired of maybe. I'ma build it with these two hands. Every brick I lay is a brand new start. We building our own stage, our own stage. Every tear become a song. Every voice they try to silence, singing loud. Every seed we planted, breaking ground. We building our own stage, our own stage. What they called impossible, we call home. We ain't alone, we ain't alone. To the ones still grinding when the lights go low, to the hustlers, to the souls who already know we've been building all along. Brick by brick, every broken dream we carry was a candle lit. In our own stage, our own stage. Every tear become a song. Every voice they try to silence, singing loud. Oh, every seed we planted, breaking ground. We building our own stage, our own stage. What they called impossible, we call home. We ain't alone, we ain't alone. If only one heart hears this and believes, then every night alone was worth the dream. We planted our own garden and let it breathe. Rise up with me. We building our own stage, own stage. Every tear become a song. Every tear, every tear. Every voice they try to silence, singing loud, singing loud. Every seed we planted, breaking ground.